Hi everyone!
Welcome to episode 2 of Drink Read Fabio!
Yay, we're back again and we're so excited to do another round.
Yes,
Let's
honestly,
go.
this is my new highlight of the week. It's
Yes.
so much fun.
It's so fun, it's so funny. We should probably go over some things that we forgot to
talk about in the first episode. Yeah, because
Yes.
we were so nervous. Love
Yes. So first of all, part of this podcast is drinking, but we do not condone underage drinking, and we hope that all of our listeners are drinking responsibly, please.
Yes, definitely.
And then also, we kind of forgot to tell you guys what this podcast is about. I'm sure you kind of got the gist last time, but like to summarize it, basically, you summarize what you're going to do this week, and I'll summarize what I'm going to do.
For sure. So, of course, this is a book lovers podcast, but we wanted to kind of do a twist on that. So the beginning is a book that we recommend, that we love, and both usually have read, or one of us, the person that is giving the recommendation, so this week it would be me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to recommend a book that I have read and that I love. And then to give us something a little bit fun with it, because obviously we don't want to tell you the ending of the book or what the whole book's about because we want you to go read it.
Mm-hmm.
We are pairing it with a drink that is themed after the book that we are choosing.
Yes.
So that's kind of what I'm doing.
Yes, and then that segues us into you sort of maybe needing that drink to get through the next part for the book that makes you drink, which basically is some cheesy romance, ridiculous romance novel that we read and basically explain the plot, go over funny quotes, read through some of the sexy moments, and just laugh about them with you guys. And then we rate it on a drunkenness scale.
A scale of how drunk you need to be to get through this cheesy, cliche romance book.
Yes. Exactly. So that's us, and that's what, we should have said last time, but
here we are.
Here we are.
Now.
This is, we're still getting used to this.
It's a process.
All right.
On that note, this week, I get to create the drink, and the series that I'm going to recommend to you, which everybody who is a romance lover probably already knows is an amazing book, is The Court of Thorns and Roses. It's a hefty one. This was
quite a hefty series.
Yes, this is what my January consisted of. Every single book. I was obsessed.
Yeah.
As are most people when they read these books.
Yeah, they're like trending so much right now. I've seen like multiple people on the New York City subway train reading these books.
Oh yeah, Sarah J Maas is the author, and she is a wizard. I'm obsessed with her. I'm literally obsessed with her. She was amazing, and I highly recommend this book to anybody.
I agree.
And it's about this girl named Feyre who basically lives a very poor lifestyle. She is a human living in a fantasy world where fairies, and they call them the Fae, are a part of this world. And they are very separate from the human world. They had this big war, and their truce was that there would be a wall that divided the magic world from the human world.
Yeah.
And Feyre basically ends up kind of knowingly, but not really knowingly killing a fairy.
Yeah.
And the punishment, usually because of this truce, is death. But, what's his name?
Tamlin?
Yes. Good. It's been a hot second.
Yes.
Tamlin, who is the protagonist in the first book, he comes over and captures her and brings her into the Fae world instead of killing her, and she now has to live with him forever.
Yeah, she's basically like dedicated to like serve him in a way.
She's his captive, basically, and is owned by him now because she killed one of his friends.
Yeah.
And so that kind of gives you the gist. So the drink that I chose to make for this week is a rose water infused lemon drop martini.
Ooh, that sounds yummy.
I'm excited. So I actually chefed it up this week for this cocktail. I made the rose water myself by just putting rose petals, washing them really good, and soaking them in water for about 45 minutes, just to get all the rose essence into the water. Strained it, and now we have this beautiful, like rose toned water. Our YouTube watchers can see it now.
Yes.
And then I made a simple syrup. I know it's super easy to buy simple syrup, but you know it's also easy making simple syrup. It's just equal parts water and sugar. Heat it up to the sugar dissolves, and there you go. Perfect. Awesome. So what we're gonna do is start off. Oh, and also, did you see our beautiful shaker?
Yes, now we have a shaker.
We're cocktail gals now.
We're not using measuring cups anymore. We've upgraded.
We have upgraded. So we're gonna start off with 3 ounces, and I'm gonna do 6 because I'm gonna make 2 for both of us.
Oh yes.
Ounces of vodka. So this will take me a hot sec. 1 liter. 3. Yes. Almost there. We're getting there. I hope you guys enjoy this ASMR on our podcast. I know. And 6. I think that was 6. You know, we're going a little hard today. That might be 7. But
I kind of lost count too, but maybe it was 7.
maybe it was 7.
Oh well.
And then
You're gonna need it for this.
Honestly, I believe it.
Just get ready.
I'm so excited. We don't have a fancy pour for the rose water, so I'm just gonna measure it out. It's gonna be 2 ounces each of rose water. So we got 1. It's gonna be such a cute color. I'm so excited.
Pink.
Pink. And if you usually when you store buy rose water, it's not this pretty color. So I'm excited that I made it. So we're gonna get like a really nice pink cocktail too. We're back to being amateurs here with the measuring cup.
The measuring spoon.
Measuring spoon.
To pour it in. But it's okay.
You know,
as we progress in our podcast, we're going to get more tools and we'll get better at this.
anybody wants to send us any cocktail advice or tools, let me know.
Yes. All you bartenders out there.
Great. And then 1 ounce of lemon juice. Oh, and before we do that, I'm going to sugar the rims because
Sugar the rims.
Honestly,
I love sugared rims.
it's the best part of a lemon drop martini. I love that one. It's like on the side.
Yeah,
With
me
all the
too.
sugar. I'm like, yes, get in me.
Yeah, there was this restaurant that we used to go to all the time when we were younger, and they would have raspberry lemonade, which was amazing, and they'd always sugar the rims, and I just
that's so
lick it off.
Yeah. Okay.
It looks so fancy and happy.
Fancy happy girl. And 2. Fancy happy girls. Come here, sugar.
Get in there, sugar.
You know, gotta get it good.
Yeah, gotta get it all covered.
All covered. It's the best part, so
Yeah.
I want it to be.
Yay.
It looks like snow.
Yeah, it's
I
happy.
love it. So happy.
So happy.
Alright, so now that that's done, we can grab our lemon juice freshly squeezed because I don't mess around, but obviously you can use
Yes, she's all natural.
store-bought. Oh, also, I wanted to give this tip because I got I wanted to give a tip because I got some comments about how to make the drink non-alcoholic. And for those people that are, not drinking right now or sober and still want to join in on the fun.
Yeah.
And a good way to make this totally non-alcoholic is just to use club soda.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like a fun, instead of vodka, and then it's like a fun sparkling lemonade kind of drink, which would be super good. Honestly, that'd be pretty good.
That's probably what we would maybe rather do. But sometimes. But right now, our goal is to feel good.
Yes. 1, 2. Great. Almost done. that in there. 2 tablespoons of simple syrup. Which is my favorite part.
Simple syrup.
I'm gonna add in 3 actually.
Yeah, because you kind of. It's kind of hard to get the full.
Full one with the liquid.
Yeah.
All right. And now I'm gonna move.
Shake, senora.
Shake.
Shake it.
Ready?
Shake.
Oh, please don't spill.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
You sure?
Good.
The ice has melted.
You're awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. And take the top off.
Yes.
And we're gonna just pour her in here.
Oh,
so cute.
it's so pink and pretty.
It's so cute.
I love it.
So fun.
This is a good one if you're having a girls' night or a birthday party.
Oh yeah. Perfect.
She filled mine to the brim, girl.
Usually that's what you gotta do with a martini. It needs to be all the way.
Yeah.
You don't want to waste any.
Exactly.
Perfect.
I'm gonna slide this very slowly over to myself.
Yes, taste it. I want to know. We can do
Okay,
it.
I'm gonna actually like bend over because I'm nervous about picking it up. Yum. It hit me at the end.
Oh yeah, this is a sipper. This isn't a chugger. Good?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I like very much.
Yeah, would be so cute for like little bachelorette or
Yeah.
a birthday.
It's so cute.
So cute. Woo! All right.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm so ready. Come
I
on.
can't wait. Okay, so I have my book in my little Gilmore Girls book
We love
case
that.
cover. Just shout out to Grace by Shan. She's a small business. If you want a book cover, gotta shout out our small businesses.
For sure.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm so ready.
So, keeping with a similar theme, we've got Cowboy Wolf Trouble.
Cowboy wolf trouble?
Yes. So just based on this cover, what do you think?
It better be about werewolves. If it's not about werewolves, I'm gonna be so mad. A cowboy werewolf?
It's Cowboy Werewolves.
That's amazing.
It's literally amazing.
Cowboy werewolf.
Yes. Not only werewolves, not only cowboys, but both. We combined them.
Honestly,
Two
who's the author?
fantasies.
Who did this for us?
Miss Kate Ballinger.
Of course, her name is Kate.
Yes.
Only
Kate.
Kates would make a story about cowboy werewolves.
Yes,
so.
it's a paranormal romance.
Oh my gosh, does he find his mate? We'll find out, I guess.
Find out? Okay. So here's the back of the book.
I'm ready.
7 shifter clans call the Montana mountains home, but a new evil will stop at nothing to tear their world apart. For centuries, the shifters that roam Big Sky country have honored a pact to keep the peace. Even bad boy rancher Wes Calhoun, former leader of a renegade pack, has given up his violent ways and sworn loyalty to the Grey Wolves. But his dark past keeps catching up with him. Then we have human rancher Naomi Evans, cares only about saving the ranch that was her father's legacy, until a clash with Wes opens up a whole new world, a supernatural world on the verge of war, and Naomi, her ranch, and the sexy cowboy wolf stealing her heart are smack dab in the middle of it.
Wait, so Naomi's a human? Of course.
Of course!
She has to be.
Yes, so we have Wes Calhoun, our cowboy wolf.
Wes.
Yes, Wes.
Oh my god.
Wes Calhoun.
Wes Calhoun. We're back on it, girls.
Naomi Evans. Okay,
Naomi
so
Evans.
again, the first sentence is amazing.
I love it.
Here
Can't
we
wait.
go. It was more than a hunger for fresh steak that filled Wes Calhoun's belly. Oh, okay, so basically, at the beginning of the book, he kind of goes into how Wes Calhoun used to be a member of the Wild 8, which is basically like the bad boy clan of the wolves.
Yeah.
He was born into that clan, but
Oh, no.
his clan betrayed him. So he goes and swears loyalty to the Grey Wolf Pack.
Oh, so he was a part of one pack.
Yes.
Pack.
One pack.
And now is a part of a different pack.
Yes.
Oh, that is tea.
Yes.
That's drama.
Okay, so our first quote that I want to talk about, that this author loves to use the word pegged often in this book.
Pegged.
Wes is going to go meet Kyle,
Uh-huh.
who is kind of two-faced. He like lives in the middle, but he mostly associates with the Wild 8, which
He's
is
a
the bad
lone
guys.
wolf.
Yes, he's a lone wolf. So he's about to get on his horse called Blackjack. Yes, and it says, the fierce Mustang trotted out of his stall and pegged Wes with a look of I have gone all night, as if it were normal for a horse to regularly escape his hold. But like, let's just take the beginning of that. The fierce Mustang trotted out of his stall and pegged Wes. Thank you. Good night.
That's an interesting use of the word pegged.
Yes, and she continues to do it throughout this book.
I can't wait.
So he meets Kyle in the woods, and Kyle basically says, so I overheard that there's this alliance forming between the Wild 8 and the Vamps, which are the vampires.
No!
And they basically want to take over the Grey Wolf Pack, take their lands, and like destroy them basically, with the vampires as their like army together.
How rude.
And he's trying to get this information for his clan, but he's not really supposed to be talking to them. So, as he's talking to them, he kind of reveals why he crossed over to the other side. He kills his father, who is the leader of the Wild 8. And then
Wes kills his own father?
Yes. And has this innocent human woman's blood on his hands. And we don't know what that means yet.
Oh, yeah.
So he has to leave.
So he got betrayed because they made him kill his father?
We don't know yet.
Oh, okay.
He feels betrayed and he had to leave because of these things he did. And he's living with this like guilt.
Okay.
And we don't really know why.
Okay.
But we know he's maybe not a great guy, but we don't know yet. So he's talking with Kyle. We kind of get more about Wes. And then Kyle sells him out.
Oh, no.
The Wild 8 show up. They're about to attack Wes. And he's like, what the fuck, dude? He
like blindsides him?
Yes. And so we're on page 8, and this happens. With one swift move, he twisted Kyle's neck until it snapped.
He kills Kyle?
Yes, on page 8 of the book, he already kills someone by snapping their neck. I'm like, whoa. This is crazy.
He goes, you betrayed me.
Yes. So he kills Kyle. Then Donnie, the leader of the Wild 8 pack, shows up with his pack members. And they're like fighting and whatever. And then Wes starts running away from them because he realizes he can't fight them all on his own because he's a single guy. He runs onto a farm and gets caught in a wolf trap.
No.
Dun, dun, dun.
Not a wolf trap.
So now we're on to Naomi's point of view. Naomi hears the trap go off, and she's like, ugh, she didn't even want the trap to be placed on the farm anyway. Her brother made her do it because all her cattle keeps getting killed.
By wolves.
Well, they don't know. So she grabs her shotgun, she goes outside, and she's about to kill Wes.
She's gonna kill the wolf?
Yeah, she's got her shotgun. And so she's about to kill him, and then this is what happens. The wolf's golden eyes held her gaze for a prolonged moment. It examined her with equal curiosity. When it finally broke eye contact, the air surrounding the wolf suddenly shifted and bent. Fur retracted and limbs shifted. Naomi's breath caught in her throat. 2 seconds ago, she's been face to face with a large, angry gray wolf. Now a man crouched before her. And he goes, she lifted her gun again, clinging to her only means of protection. And he says, don't shoot. And she's like, get up. I said, get up. And then it says, instantly she regretted her demand. Now, at the end of her gun's barrel, stood a man, a very large, very naked man. So because he transformed back into a human, he's naked now? And he still has the wolf trap on his arm.
Oh, that's cringe.
She ends up shooting him.
Okay.
Anyway, then a weight hits her in the chest, and everything fades to black.
What?
So she wakes up. Now he's clothed.
Great, I'm glad.
Yes.
Glad he's clothed. Glad we've settled that.
But he wore nothing but a pair of loose jeans covered with riding chaps.
Ew.
The combination hung low enough on his hips to serve as a reminder there was nothing underneath.
Dun, dun.
He's just wearing, he's going commando.
With jeans?
Yeah.
That's not comfy.
I don't know what he's doing. She tries to run.
Uh-huh.
She tries to run. She's stupid. Yeah, he's like, no, and tackles her to the ground, and he's like, I haven't been this close to a woman in a long time.
Is he 16 years old?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
man.
he's really already lost it with her.
Great.
Okay, so this is gonna be a fun game for us, to segue. In this book, they talk about his dick getting hard so many times, and for no, like, particular, like, reason.
So
It's
drink
just,
every
like-
time his dick gets hard.
Yes. So, I counted it. It's total 11 times
Oh, good.
in the whole book. So this is the first one.
Okay.
So get ready. We're gonna read this, and then we're gonna drink.
Okay.
His cock had immediately responded. He'd been ignoring the blood flowing further south in his body all
The blood flowing.
an unfortunate male side effect of adrenaline in battle. Or fortunate, depending on how he looked at it. But up this close and personal to her, the ache in his dick couldn't be ignored. He's literally just on top of her, tackling her. And he's just like,
He's like, already, here we go.
I'm ready to go. Okay, everyone, drink.
Drink.
Because that is our first cock mention. Then she's like, you killed my livestock, you're a monster, whatever. Well, Miss Kitty, he chuckled, I didn't kill your damn sheep. And he calls her Miss Kitty like this entire book.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate that.
And then basically reveals to her that they're vampires and that he's like, you should know that it's a vampire.
Oh, the vampires are killing the livestock.
Yes.
Because they like to suck the blood.
Yes.
Good.
And he's like, we don't have much time. We gotta go because these wolves are looking for me. So you need to get on the damn horse and we gotta go.
So he basically kidnaps her?
Yeah.
Okay, why?
Yes.
Because he's like, you know who I am, so I can't let you out of my sight.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
He's like, wait, I hear something. And like covers her mouth and then makes her, like pulls her to a tree, picks her up. They were hidden from view. We're on page 33.
Oh my gosh.
This is chapter 3 of the book. The next part. His mouth claimed hers in a kiss that was as brazen and unforgiving, as terrifying and tantalizing as electricity between them.
They're kissing already?
They're kissing, and he kidnapped her.
And they've known each other for how long? Like, not even a day?
An
Couple
hour.
hours? Oh my gosh.
Like an hour.
This is ridiculous. If a
Yeah.
guy tried to do this to me, I'd be like, whoa, dude.
I would be terrified.
I'd be like, I'm gonna be raped.
But she's like, somehow, like, trust him.
I like, kind of
Yeah.
like him. I don't know, but there's something about him.
Yeah, she's like, this is kind of dirty. Okay, I kiss you. He hears something, sends the horse off. So the horse is like running to distract the wolves.
Okay.
And he's like, okay, I gotta go now and go chase off the wolves for you. So he like leaves her there, hidden. And then she's like, okay, I think I'm safe now. And then she comes out of hiding and a wolf attacks her. And then he comes and saves her. And she's like, you saved my life. And so now she's like basically already,
In love.
she's down bad for
Yeah.
him.
After
Because-
a couple hours.
Yep. So then he's like, okay, well you can't go back to your ranch because you're in danger.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm taking you to this barn and we're gonna sleep here for the night. Then he basically explains like, okay, there's werewolves, there's vampires, but there's more than that. So they call themselves shifters, which is basically any human that can transform into an animal.
Okay.
So we got gray wolf subpacks, we got grizzly bears, black bears, bobcats, lynxes, I don't know
That
what's
seems
this
right.
mountain lions and coyotes.
Ew.
They're all shifters.
So there's that many humans that can shift into animals.
Yes. Then they basically are getting ready to go to sleep. Now we have another cock reference.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
so
yes. Number 2.
So, if he was honest, something about her sass heated him to frustration. The thought made him instantly hard again. Damn it. So everybody drink.
Everybody drink, cock.
Yes. Okay, I have another quote for you.
Okay.
This book is full of just
random naughtiness.
yes, it's so funny.
Okay. Well, for her hormones, apparently all it took was saving her life, an unexpected kiss, and hauling her off like some sort of wolf caveman to turn her into an adventurous vixen.
An adventurous vixen.
Adventurous vixen. Cross-species mating be damned. Oh, she's already thinking about babies.
Yeah.
She's like, I mean, not this man's babies.
Cross-mating species.
Can't wait to have a wolf baby.
Yeah, wolf human baby. Let's go.
She'd never thought herself the type to be interested in dark and mysterious. Yet here she was, her nipples tight as the thought of how he felt above her against the oak tree. Then, when she was nestled in his lap atop that wild Mustang, she still didn't even know his name. They kissed?
Yeah.
She doesn't know his name? How did that not come up in the first hour?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my god.
He's very mysterious, you know? It's part of the, like, you know,
The charm.
romance, the charm. Okay, so she's, like, freezing. They're trying to go to sleep. She's shivering. He hears her. He goes, come here. And he goes, you heard me. Your teeth are clattering louder than the whole chain gang. Come here. And she's like, come. If you think I'm sleeping next to you, you're insane. And he goes, woman, I haven't got all night. And then she goes and cuddles with him
Aw.
and sleeps.
I love it when a guy tells me to come here.
Yeah, come here. You're freezing. Then they wake up the next day and he's like, so you can't go home anymore.
What?
I'm taking you to the wolf pack run, which is basically his like whole wolf pack area that they live in.
Okay, why can't she go home?
It's not safe. The vampires are out to get her, right?
Oh, no.
And her livestock. So she can't go home. She's like, okay, fine. I'll go with you. So he takes her to the wolf pack run. And he's like, okay, go in my room, go to sleep. He then goes to Maverick, who is like the leader of the Grey Wolf Pack.
Uh-huh.
And Maverick is pissed. He's like, you went against me, whatever. And Wes is like, I did this for a good reason. They're teaming up with the vampires. Like, they're gonna come and attack us. It's gonna be war. And he's like, I don't care. You still went against me. Like, and you have no evidence. And he's like, okay, whatever. And he's like, basically, you can't help with this anymore. You have no involvement in this, like, figuring this out.
Yikes.
Yeah. And he's like, and also, you know pack law. We have to kill the girl because now she knows that you're a wolf.
No.
Yeah.
He's like, I was doing this for you.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't give a shit.
So she wakes up and he's like, girl, you need to eat.
Okay.
We're gonna go to the mess hall, which is where all the wolves eat.
Oh, are we at college now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he takes her to the mess hall, basically, and everyone's like, a human. And she's like, I can't eat, I'm so scared, blah, 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 blah. Malcolm, one of the pack members, is like super pissed because he was friends with this wolf named Bo, and Bo was killed by a human. So he's like instantly triggered, and Malcolm attacks Naomi. And then apparently Naomi had clearly been trained in basic self-defense because her brother was in the military.
Okay, we're just gonna throw that in there really
So she fucking tackles him to the ground in a chokehold.
So the
with her knife.
small girl is like,
Yes.
I'm gonna get this werewolf.
Literally. I'm kind of like, okay, Naomi, you're kind of a bad bitch.
Yeah, okay, Naomi.
I'm like, okay, fears for you, but like how?
But then why were you so scared?
Yeah. Why were you so scared if you like have
you're a badass bitch.
military experience training from your brother? I don't know. But sure. Now you're gonna read this section and that.
Right. staring over the mountainside, because country.
Mm-hmm.
Her eyes scanned over the land. While she wasn't looking, he subtly adjusted the erection straining against his jeans. Oh no. This is so gross! Yeah. How big is it? She broke the momentary silence between them. Wes froze. Apparently, he hadn't been as discreet as he thought. But he hasn't expected such a blunt question. You don't know the acreage of your own ranch, don't you?
She's talking about the ranch! He thought it was about her dick. Yeah. He's like, oh, wait, how do I answer that? She's like, you don't know the acreage of your land?
The ranch. She was talking about the Grey Wolf Ranch.
Yeah.
Stupid. Big enough to impress. On both accounts. Oh my gosh. Wesley.
Wes.
Tricky boy.
Yes. And then she reveals that, you know, her ranch is struggling, especially with all the attacks.
Yeah.
And it's because her dad had cancer. Of course. And they had to use the money to pay for his medical bills that they couldn't use for the ranch. And then he's like, my past is really dark, blah, blah, blah. And then I have another section for you.
She'd recognized him as an alpha, and now she knew what that meant. She shook her head and smiled. Didn't your mother ever tell you not to play with your food? Blah. He raised an eyebrow. Don't you feed on humans? She asked. I mean, I know you say dinner and all, but I figured it was maybe like vampires. He shook his head. No. What would give you that idea? She pointed with 2 fingers in her own eyes. Your eyes seem to flash every time you stare at me. You look hungry when you look at me. A slight growl rolled his chest. That's a different kind of hunger, Naomi.
Okay, so then they go to sleep. It's a new day.
Great.
He takes her to help her, herd cattle with him. After they herd cattle, they go back to the stables, and Naomi finds a little cat. And then she's just like petting the cat, and the cat gets mad and sticks his claws into Naomi's hand and runs and attacks Blackjack, the horse.
What?
And then they go on like this whole chase. And in their exit, the horse knocks over the wheelbarrow full of manure.
Ew.
And it causes them to slip
Ew.
and stumble into the manure out into the grass.
Ew.
So they're covered in horseshit. They're fully covered in horseshit. And then it starts to rain. So what happens when they're covered in horseshit and they just were rained on? I don't know. Get naked!
No! Gross!
Of course! Okay, now you're gonna read this next part.
And she stepped towards him, advancing as she threatened him with her finger. Her finger of all things. Like that was supposed to intimidate him. You're the one who brought me to this place. You're the one who led those wild ape monsters onto my land. You want trouble? Look in the mirror, she hissed. Unless you intend to follow through with that little threat, I suggest you take a large step back, Miss Kitty.
I hate that he calls her Miss Kitty too.
And what if I don't? She challenges. I devour that damn finger of yours and every other inch of you with it.
Oh, okay. They both love the toxicity of this relationship. Okay, get ready to drink again. We got another cock moment. Bending ever so slightly, she wriggled free of her jeans. With each shimmying movement, she's behind the stable doors, so he can't see her, but she's changing.
Okay.
So with each shimmying movement, he became more aroused, leaving his cock as hard as a diamond.
He can't even see her.
Basically, bantering, the full-on bantering, right? She's like, you fucking suck, and he's like, I'm the best, you want my cock, don't you? And she's like, yes I do, blah, 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 blah.
She's like, no, I won't. You need to stay away.
Don't flatter yourself, you're not even cute. And then, she's turned on.
Go.
Okay, so, there we go.
Don't toy with me. It's not funny. Toys are for men who don't know how to use their hands. Fine. Don't lie to me then. I may be a lot of things, but I'm no liar.
I'm no liar.
He prowled towards her. Her heart sped into overdrive. From the look in his eyes, she was fairly certain she'd turn into Little Red Riding Hood. And the big bad wolf was headed straight to devour her in all the dirty ways she dreamed that morning. I am no liar. Not Little Red.
Not Little Red.
Oh, no.
Okay, and then he says, you know, don't toy with me. Toys are for men who know how to use their hands. And he says, I'm not a liar, whatever. Then he touches her and makes her finish like instantly. And then again,
Because that's how life works.
he goes, I'm no liar, and runs away. He runs out of the stable. And then, without looking back, he stripped off his clothes and shifted. Run. He needed to run. So, he just runs away.
He's like, bye.
Yep. He's like,
She's probably like saying to her, like,
he's like, I can't deal with this. I'm leaving. He shifts back a new human after his full-on run. He gets it out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he puts on his clothes. He says the material reeked with the scent of her, with the tantalizing smell of her sex. He dragged the shirt off. It made his mouth water and his cock instantly hard.
No.
So everyone drink.
Again, this poor man.
He goes to try to break into the computer system of their pack to figure out if they have any like intel on the vampires and the wild egg connecting. And one of the guys that deals with that catches him, but he's like, okay, I'll tell you the tea. Yes, we realize that they are connected, but we don't really know why.
Okay.
And they're hiding something. So we figure that out. Then Naomi's upset because he made her finish and he just ran away. So she tries to run away. She takes this horse Star and runs away. And then guess what happens?
Finds her, or she gets attacked by vampires.
When she's all alone in the woods. The wild egg come to attack her, of course. And
she asked for it.
She asked for it. The wolves come after her. They're attacking her. Whatever. Wes hears her scream and he's like, I gotta go. And he gets on Blackjack and he's like, my girl. And basically he saves her, and then the Grey Wolf pack, his pack, shows up to help him.
Okay.
And they're like, why are you here? Like, state your purpose for coming here. And he's like, do you know this girl? And the wild wolf says, yes, I recognize her. She's worked with us. And lies!
What?
And says that they worked with her. And she's like, what the fuck? I didn't work with them. They're all gonna kill me now. Basically, she proves her loyalty to them and is like, I'm innocent in that regard.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that like he can get with her or anything.
Okay.
Because it's forbidden
Yeah.
that they can get together.
Because she's a human?
So, but to make the it like official, they have to do a blood pact.
What?
So basically, Wes cuts his hand.
Ew.
She has to cut her hand, and they have to like shake on it.
Why does Wes have to do it?
He vows on his life that Naomi's intentions are true. So he's like, I will shake on it.
Okay.
So they bind together by blood.
Gross.
And this is what happens. Naomi clasped his injured hand with her own. As their palms made contact, a jolt of electric heat shot through their limbs. She felt the pulse and sensation of honest to goodness magic tingling on her skin. So we don't know what just happened, but some power surged through them that he's never felt before. Maverick said, okay, now that you are part of our pack, we'll protect you. You can go back to your ranch.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
And he's like, okay, I want to go. And Wes is like, you're not going to go alone. And so he takes her to the her ranch. They're on the porch, and we have another cock moment. Here we go. She opened her mouth as if she was going to protest, but quickly closed it. The action drew his attention to her lips. His cock immediately responded to the thought. Yep.
This poor man.
But literally, she opened her mouth to speak and closed it, and that made him hard because he started imagining doing things with her.
Oh my gosh.
And then
He needs to masturbate.
literally. Okay, now it's sexy Kate time.
But
You're on the porch.
We're on the
Here we
porch.
go. These two.
Okay. When she finally lay bare before him, his breath caught. Man, she was gorgeous. With her dark skin bathed in pale morning light and the dark strands of her hair cascading over her shoulders, she was sin incarnate. And damn if he wasn't a devout sinner.
And damn if he wasn't a devout sinner.
He tossed the hat aside before he reached into the back pocket of his jeans, removing his flask and unscrewing the top. He wanted a drink? That's... What? Okay. Just now? What are you doing? He didn't respond. She gasped as he carefully drizzled a small line of the whiskey over each of her breasts and down the length of her chest to her navel.
Poured the whiskey on her. Why? Why? I understand that people like get turned on by that, but it wasn't like she was like yes. He was like, what are you doing? And then he's like, like pouring this whiskey all over.
And who wants to just like actually only taste whiskey on their tongue? Like it's not
this cowboy who's a true man.
You're right.
Yeah.
He's a true man. No, he's a boy.
Yeah.
The liquid that still burned hot in her throat, oh, she drank it, left a cool trail in its wake, causing her back to in anticipation as the liquid made its way down the line of her body. We both like the taste of whiskey, and I'm a man of my word. Wes whispered in a hungry promise. When we were on the Grey Wolf stables, I warned you, if you ever got any closer, I'd devour you. He bent over her, dipping his head just above the tip of one of her nipples. I intend to keep that promise.
So that's why you poured the whiskey on her. Okay, we have another sexy Kate moment, but now we're having sex on the porch.
Okay.
Just straight on the porch.
Okay.
In front of her house, so yes.
Okay. With rough hands, he hooked her legs over his shoulders. Whoa! Dropping his head until his mouth hovered over her wet slit.
The slit!
Oh, Miss Kitty.
No, Miss Kitty! They're about to meet with the Execution Underground, which is basically a collection or a clan of humans who know about the wolves, the vampires, all these paranormal people. Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And want to kill them, basically. Because they're a danger to humans.
Okay, yeah.
And so
I can see that.
to get the information that he wants, to get this evidence about the vampires so that he can get back in the good graces with his pack, he sets up this whole plan.
Okay.
So Naomi plans to meet with Quinn Harper, who is the leader of the Execution Underground. Okay, so she says to him, he's like, what do you want? And she says, I want the Execution Underground's full protection for my life and my ranch, and I'm willing to pay for it.
Okay.
So she gives him the location of the Midnight Cowboy Saloon, which is a secret saloon in the Wild 8 area.
Okay.
And he's like, oh, yes, this is what I want. And so he was like, okay, but I need more. So he pulls out his phone and is like, I need you to look at these photos and tell me if you recognize these people. So he shows her a picture of Donnie, who is the leader of the Wild 8. Then, of course, he shows her a picture of Wes. She's like, he's like, do you know him? And she's like,
yeah,
no, I don't know him. He doesn't look familiar.
Oh,
And then he
no.
goes, meet Wes Calhoun, former packmaster of the Wild 8. He disappeared 3 years ago after one god-awful bloody night in which he left the bodies of an innocent human woman and his monster of a predecessor, his father, Nolan Calhoun, in his wake. So this is the first time she's hearing this, and she's like, what the fuck? He's a monster. And he goes, he was like, she was a fellow hunter. She was undercover working alongside that monster when he killed her. So she was an underground execution underground member.
No.
And he goes, and she was my wife.
No.
And Wes was in love with her. So now we cut to Wes.
Okay.
He's going to the saloon, and he is planning to fight one of the Wild 8 to get information out of them, because that's what they do. They do like an MMA, like wrestler fight. Here we go.
Okay.
They fight, but he's hoping that the timing works out, that the Execution Underground, Quinn, brings all his people right in time after he gets the information, so he can like dip out of there without them noticing that he was there. But it doesn't work out that way.
Of course.
And they're fighting.
Good.
And then basically then he's like, now I gotta fight out the Execution Underground.
Oh man.
So all of them are gonna fight.
Good.
And so Quinn is like, okay, Naomi, get in the van. You're gonna stay here, because he thinks she's on his side. So he's like, you're gonna stay here. She's like, fuck no. She grabs the gun out of his van, runs.
Oh no.
She's running, and then
Did she forget that vampires are out there?
yeah, she's stupid. She's like, I'm gonna run. And then someone drags her back.
Yeah.
She's like, you need to go, basically, to look at this, because she's like, Wes is in danger. We need to help him.
Okay.
So she charges in and is like, we're gonna fight, which is like, okay, again, you're stupid.
Yeah.
And they rush in to save Wes. They grab Wes. The bartender is like, I have the secret tunnel. We're gonna go under the tunnel and you're gonna be fine. So they go into the tunnel, then they go to a hotel. This is in the hotel.
You have no idea what you're dealing with. Then show me. You want to scare me and drive me away? Then so be it. But we've been together for days, and I've yet to see this monster of a man you speak of. And then his mouth was on her. His tongue parted her mouth as she melted into his kiss.
They don't have any problems, they just kiss.
I know, they're like, we have conflict, let's make out.
Yeah, literally, this whole book.
Before she realized what he was doing, he stood behind her, nudging her down until she was bent over the hotel bed as he unclasped her jeans. I mean, he is a wolf. Wink, wink.
He bent over the bed. Oh my goodness.
What are you doing? She murmured, tugging open the fly of her pants. He ripped her jeans down and over her hips, exposing the lacy purple material of her panties. Blech. What if I told you I was once Wild 8? He confessed.
See? What? He's bent her over the bed, her pants are pulled down, they're about to have sex, and then he's like, let me just reveal this thing about me to you right now.
Let's talk about something serious while I'm banging.
Yeah.
Good idea. She struggled to speak. I'd say the past is behind you. He chuckled darkly. It's me who's behind you. That's so ridiculous.
Why did he decide that moment was the right moment to bring that up? So then they talk about that they've had sex multiple times.
Good.
After this. Naomi goes to take a shower. She gets a call on her phone. Wes is like, ooh, this looks sketchy. I'm going to answer it. And it is someone on the other line saying like, you may not value your life, but you value hers. Meet me in an hour, both of you. I'll send the location. And then they go to the location, him and Naomi.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, they hear Colt, which is like a guy that's a friend. He's like, you were kind of right.
Oh.
And they are partnering with the vampires. And Colt is like, hold on, I got a video for you. So it's like, it says, at the mouth of the alley lay two men, seemingly in lover's embrace. This is the video. The bent figure lurched backwards. The man wasn't a lover at all, nor was he a man. There's no normal vampire bite. The vampire had mauled its victim's throat.
What?
And so he's saying, they're like, what the hell? This is not what vampires do.
Yeah.
And Colt goes, it's half turned. They're not like other vampires. It's some kind of deformity in their initial transformation. It leaves them still half human, so they become deranged. And they turn all their victims into vampires.
Oh,
so like this makes it an even bigger deal than before.
No.
They're not just vampires and like killing people. They're turning up people into vampires, which makes it even like worse for their army because it makes even more half-turned vampires.
Oh man.
So now they are truly in a pickle. Colt is like, if you can bring evidence of this, I'm sure Maverick will let you back into the pack and he'll trust you again.
Right.
He's like, okay. Wes and Naomi break into the warehouse of the Wild 8 where he thinks they're keeping the werewolf.
Good.
And Wes is like, don't worry, the werewolf will be, or the vampire will be locked up. It won't be a big deal, whatever. And it's not locked up. And the vampire attacks Wes. No! And
he's like, it's fine. Nothing will happen. Something happens.
yeah, and Naomi's like, good thing I have my knife. And she like basically manages to give Wes the knife, transfer it to him, and he kills the vampire.
Good.
And yeah, so now they have killed the vampire, and they're like, there's our proof. So they put the vampire head in the back. What? They basically take the horse. Naomi and Wes take the horse to ride to the Great Wolf Pack. And they're like, Great Wolf Lodge. They ride to Great Wolf Lodge. They go to the Great Wolf Pack and take the head. But Naomi doesn't know that Wes has this whole planned. So when they show up, they're like, oh, well, you know, you're not supposed to be here. We're going to handcuff you. Wes is like, okay, I love her. Handcuff me.
What?
He's just like, take me. And Naomi's like, what? I thought we were trying to prove to them that you're innocent. And he's just like, nope, take me away.
Instead of her?
And then she was like, you lied to me. You said we were going to prove it. Because he's like, I deserve to die because I'm a horrible person.
What?
Basically.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's like trying to be
story.
like, oh, I'm a hero. What was me? Yeah. And she's like, what the fuck? Like, we have proof, blah, blah, blah. Like, why are you doing this? He's innocent, blah, blah, blah. Yelling, and they're like, okay, you're going with him. So they're both locked. Handcuff her. They take him to the dungeon.
Stupid.
And then they start having sex in the dungeon.
What? In the dungeon?
Yes.
They're like, you know what's so hot? Handcuffs.
And so then they fall asleep.
Uh-huh.
Then Naomi wakes up before Wes.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, okay, I have a plan. She goes to the guard and she's like, hey, I need you to come over here. He's like, I didn't see anything, I promise. I went and got my lunch break. He's like, I don't know anything. She was like, that's very nice of you, but I need you to help me.
Good.
And basically she's like, I need you to let me out. I have proof that he's innocent. Like, can you please let me out so I can show Maverick the truth?
Yeah.
And he's like, sure.
What?
Yeah. He's like,
this is a terrible guard.
yeah, he's like,
This guard's like, whatever.
honestly, I think that he's innocent too, so I'm gonna let you out.
Nice.
She goes to Maverick, and she's like, basically tells him the story of what he just told her about him not killing the woman, and she's like, you didn't know that? And he was like, yeah, but that doesn't change anything because he still murdered his dad.
Yeah.
But and his motivations are a little consequence to me.
Oh
And she's
my
like,
gosh.
okay, well, here's the vampire head. He was right all along. And they are going to come attack you any day now. And she leaves, basically.
Good.
And it doesn't solve anything.
Yeah. Because he won't believe her. Or
Yeah, he won't believe her. So then Wes wakes up. Naomi's not there. He's freaking out.
Of course.
The guards come get him to be killed. Because
He's gonna get executed?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's in prison.
Because he betrayed them. So they're like, they're saying, you have been charged with failure to obey your pack leaders, insolence, and exposing our pack to humans. And so they basically, on the charges set forth, do you claim innocence? He says no.
Okay.
And then such a charge warrants death, as our law calls for. So he's like, I'm so sad, I never got to tell Naomi I loved her. And then the executioner's about to frickin' chop his head off. And then
you hear a wait, and you're like, who is it? And then Maverick comes and stops everything.
What?
He's like, I've made a mistake. He was like, Wes Calhoun is guilty as charged, but he has also done a great service to this pack.
Oh my god.
So they don't kill him.
Well, that's good.
And he's like, Wes brought us proof, and now we have a really big issue. And like, then he says, I would like be honored for you to serve at my side as second in command. So all the wolves bow, and he's like, yes, I'll be your second in command. And then Maverick's like, okay, dude, you need to make the most of these last moments with Naomi because you're not allowed to be with her.
Why?
Because it's like a rule that they're not allowed to have human-wolf relations. And then he's like, okay. He tugs Naomi into the woods, and they have
Into the woods?
Yeah, and they have sex in the woods.
Good.
Of course, any conflict, just for sex.
Gosh, they really bang a lot.
Yeah, they do. Then the next day, we have a paranormal animal committee meeting. After the meeting, Blaze, the guy that like deals with the communication and like the computery background stuff, he shows Wes a video of Naomi shaking hands with Donnie, which is like when she thought he was the
good guy.
What's it called? He was trying to give her money for her ranch, but Wes doesn't know that, so he's like, oh, she's helping them, whatever. He like instantly
why does he do that?
I know. He like instantly thinks she's a bad guy, and he kisses her, and then he's like, I can taste it on you.
What?
And she goes, are you okay?
Yeah.
And then suddenly she was against the tree again. His hand plunged between her legs down the front of her jeans.
What?
And he says, did you do the same for him? For Donnie? I was like, bro!
He should calm down.
She was shaking hands with him. And then she's like, I didn't know he was pretending to be an investor for the ranch. And then she's like, I love you. And he's like, no, I can't, leave. And she's like, what? I love you. And he's like, I am not capable of love. And then he ran away.
Oh my god.
He turned into a wolf and ran away.
He runs away too much.
He cannot deal with his problems. And then after that, Naomi has this plan that she's going to meet with Donnie and prove that she's innocent.
What?
So she gets all dressed up, but her dress up is this. Naomi wore dress boots for the occasion.
No!
She paired them with her best unscuffed jeans and a black blouse and overlaid the ensemble with a simple jean jacket, turquoise earrings, and a matching turquoise belt buckle.
She's like a jean dress shoes.
So she goes and meets up with Donnie. Then she tricks him and she's like, ha ha ha, calls the execution underground to get him arrested.
What?
She's like, yeah, I have a tip for the execution underground. They show up, arrest
Donnie,
and they get him in the car. Naomi gets in the car. They're all in the car.
Okay,
Donnie, obviously, turns into a wolf.
good. Of course.
Attacks the guy in the driver's seat, and they get into a car accident.
Of course. What do they expect?
And then Quinn, who's the guy that showed up, the one that lost his wife, whatever.
Yeah.
He dies.
No!
Poor guy.
Poor Quinn.
I
His
know.
wife cheats on him with Wes
He has an unfortunate life.
and dies.
Yep.
Good.
And now Donnie basically kidnaps her. And he's like, I'm going to use you in the war
To get what I want.
to get Wes to lead away and then I'll kill him when he's on his own.
That's rough.
Yeah. The Wild Eight starts to invade. War is happening.
War.
It's happening now. Everyone's fighting. Whatever. Then somehow Blaze has a picture of the car crash on his iPad.
How? Okay. He's like,
his tablet.
Don't worry.
And then it shows a picture of the car accident, and Wes is like, oh, my girl! My girlfriend! Is she dead? And he's like, no, she's alive, but Donnie has her.
Dun dun dun.
And then she's kidnapped by them. Donnie like pops out into the war, and he's like, ha ha ha, he, I'm over here. And Wes is like, there he is, boo 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 boo, gotta run after him, he has my girl.
Oh,
and then Donnie's like, ha ha ha, I got you now. And Wes is like, just wait, I already figured out we would do this.
Uh-oh.
And so Wes is like, I just need to keep him talking. The Grey Wolves show up, and they're like,
and save the day.
Save the day. And they're like, we're here. And now we're fighting for Naomi and Wes's lives. And then they're fighting. Guess what happens now?
What?
A fucking vampire shows up and makes this whole fight even more complicated.
Of course,
but guess what happens?
What?
The half-turned vampire released a menacing hiss. It sank its fangs into Donnie's throat, and within seconds, Donnie dropped like a stone!
He went for his own?
Yes!
What? I thought they were on the same team!
He didn't know.
Oh.
He's deranged. Then the vampire goes and attacks Wes, and then everything goes black.
No.
Then we wake up. It's been
Wes.
5 days
5 days?
that he's been unconscious.
Oh man.
And he was like, yeah, you almost died.
But of course he lived for the
Of course he lived.
For the
Of course he
story.
lived. For Naomi, you know? And he's like, yeah, we won. Wes realizes that Maverick sent her away.
Uh-huh.
Like she can't come back to the Grey Wolf. She was sitting by his bedside this whole entire time.
Mhm.
And he's like, no, you have to go back to your ranch. You can't be here anymore.
Good.
So he's like, I need to go to her. But first, he goes to Maverick, and he's like, I'm leaving the Grey Wolf Pack because I want to be with Naomi.
What?
And Maverick is like, why? You know that this isn't, like, you're not allowed to do this. And he goes, she's my mate. Of course. Her great-great-grandfather was a shifter.
How does he know?
I don't know.
Good.
Oh, Blaze found it. Somehow Blaze knows everything.
Of course, Blaze.
Blaze knows all.
He was able to find it.
Blaze found it. So he was like, yeah, that's how it worked.
Cool.
So they're mates, and he's like, you know what? Fine.
We're all friends.
You can be with her. You can be with her.
Join the family.
He was like, you're mates, you're happy, and also I kind of need you because Colt just ran away. And then he drops a hefty bag of cash on the table.
Hell yeah.
And he's like, yeah, this is the remaining assets of the Wild 8, and you were the only Calhoun left in existence, so you get it.
Hell yeah.
And
he's like, yeah.
I got my money, and now I'm gonna go get my girl. He is running towards the girl. He shows up, she's on her porch, she's so distressed. She's like, how could you believe I was involved with the Wild 8? Why would you ever think that?
Where's the communication here?
Yeah. And he was like, yeah, you're right. I was wrong. And then he's like, well, I have something that can make up for it. Cash. Boom. There you go. Cash for your ranch. You don't have to worry anymore.
Okay.
And
He's like, you know what? I'm gonna be your sugar daddy. We're friends now. We're gonna live.
Yeah.
Everything's happy.
He's like, you know, I did all that shit, but here's some cash. That fixes everything.
Make up for it.
Yep. And now we have another section for you to read. The
Last
confession.
one.
The confession.
The last
So,
sexy Kate.
heart.
I'm ready.
That's for you.
I love you, Naomi. Sure, as the sun sets and rises every day, and I never stop loving you. You make me a better man, and I intend to spend every day of the rest of my life living up to the honor of your love. I hope you'll forgive me again, because I never want anything as much as I want you.
Yes.
Will you forgive me? I love you too, Wes, but I have one condition.
One condition.
One condition. In your quest to be a better man, don't completely get rid of Wes Calhoun, former packmaster of the Wild 8. Don't forget yourself. No, that's not what I said. I know you're trying to be a better man and all, but it's just, I kind of like the whole rough, angry, unrestricted whole thing you have going when
She's like, I like the toxic part of you. Keep that.
Please be toxic with me. Don't leave. Every touch, every kiss dampened the lacy black underwear she wore today in desperate hope that some angry wolf would show up at her door and tear them off. She thought that he was going to come. Is she doing this every day? She's like,
wait,
today is the day. I wore my black underwear for this.
He's coming home to me.
Today I wore my pink wolf. I have one condition. Don't ever call me Miss Kitty again.
Thank God.
Please.
Please don't
stop
call
it.
her Miss Kitty again.
If she thought Wes, oh, that's you.
Yes. Okay. So this is the last part of the book. His smile delivered a dark, playful promise she knew he intended to deliver. For the first time since she'd met him, the werewolf didn't chuckle. He threw back his head and gifted her with a deep, wholehearted laugh. And that is Cowboy Wolf Trouble. Yes.
What a book. That has a lot of twists and turns.
That has a lot of twists and turns. But yeah, so the beginning started off like, whoa, this is really fast. You're just like introducing a lot. And then the end, I was like, okay, the plot isn't like that bad. It's like kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's like, I didn't expect this. I was like, whoa, there's a lot of drama.
Love it.
But the cringy moments definitely made me rate this as